Gene Fernandez here. I wanted to give a commentary that is a milestone, you might say, in my particular quest to do a Montezuma cypress reforestation project for the Brownsville area, actually and extending up into the Upper Valley to a degree. I was doing a tally to figure out how many trees and where they are and whatever. I guess the starting point on this project was in 2021. And that was the year that I received 12 cypress trees from TxDOT to replace the 2 that were cut down on the old Lincoln Park area there. But we turned that around. So there are 12 beautiful trees out in the community as a result of that project. 2022, I started my nursery, but the little plants were too small, and there was no way that I could give any of those away. They wouldn't have survived out in the field. But you get on into 2023, we're ready for it. I disseminated 40 of them, and that was mainly around Brownsville in that particular year. And then in that same year, 2023, I gave 40 of them to Harlingen. And then spreading my full valley participation in this, in the year 2024, I gave Mercedes 10 of them. And then in 2024 as well, we planted about 40 of them all around Brownsville. That was part of the project that I believe Ivan Galvan was involved with. And he was with the city at the time, and I went out with him and his supervisor, and what we did was we spotted, because there's a very, very special way that you plant a cypress. Number one, you got to figure out, is it indeed on a right-of-way for a city, because we were working with the city. And secondly, are there overhead power lines, because that tree is going to grow. And also, is there a future necessity or a desire to put bulkheading in? That's really going to be important when it comes down to the growth of the tree. And then the most important part is that here's the rule. When you dig the hole in order to plant a cypress tree, you must hit water. You must hit water. You can't plant it up on the bank and then there's the water down there, because that tree is going to die. And I went through that tragedy. I supplied 2 of them to the Gladys Porter Zoo, and they planted them up on the bank, and they were just trying to get to the water. They couldn't, because they have to have their toe in the water. So those are the basics, and I explained this to Ivan. He was real good about that. He knew the basics on what how you would plant a plant, and so he went out, and I think he had 20 of them in the field. So that was such a good help to me. And then in 2025, I gave 40 of them to the sports park. And they're all out there, and I've taken a look at them. They are thriving very nicely. I'm pleased with that. And now I received, as of about 2 or 3 weeks ago, a request from the city, from the Parks Department, to put another 20 of them on the golf course. So we're going to do that. You see how the numbers are adding up. And then beyond this, the individuals that have come to me and asked for cypresses. And these are people that are in our community, but I must say the majority of the people are involved in city administration or county administration or whatever, because they are most in touch with me, and they approach me directly. And so there's about 20 of them there. What do I have now? Okay, that's 120, 130, 170, 200, 250, 260, 260 trees that were not there to begin with. And so that is reforestation. The majority of them are planted directly on our resakas. I stipulated this, and the ones that I planted especially in cooperation with the city. I said it's got to really be on vistas, like when you're rounding Price Road or Paredes. You see a tree right there, to have it hidden way on over, that's all right. But I mean, for the first round of what I wanted out there, they're going to, and they're starting to appear now, because some of these trees that I planted back in 2012, they're already 15 feet high, and so people are going to all of a sudden come around the bend and say, "Oh, look at that tree." Yeah, it wasn't there before, and all of a sudden it catches and it will catch their attention. A Montezuma cypress is a beautiful, beautiful tree. So there you have it. The planting program is going well. I've got others on reserve in my incubator in my nursery to go out later on. We're actually seeing now the fruits of our work, and the cypress trees are coming up. And I really appreciate all of those elements of the city that have helped me do this, whether it be with Roy Reyes or with, let's see, there was it's a beautification committee, the Greens Division, Parks Department, and all of those divisions there really helped me out in getting these things out and starting their growth for 1,000 years. So I really appreciate it. And I hope that you all can see these trees and then think we're making an effort to change the landscape of Brownsville in a beautiful way and back to nature. Thank you very much. Good day.